24 strand DNA. 24 strand DNA. What do we have now? 2? Well, guess what, evolutionaries? This is really crazy exciting because as I talked about in a previous video, encroach deeper into the photonic belt, we all are going to get crazy illuminated with great godly wisdom. And so as we encroach, I'm getting these tremendous insights. As a matter of fact, I've done like 7 videos today, so I got to kind of parse them out. But the cool thing is there are some things where I drew like years ago, which are coming back, and I didn't really understand, but now I'm beginning to get greater understanding as my thinking becomes more illuminated because of the godly forces that are happening within and without, meaning the photonic belt, as it comes through and we purify, as we move through in the wellspring, the eternal wellspring of source of God, our God force within us awakens so that we now can nourish all that are around us. But the cool thing is we keep getting stronger, we keep getting more enhanced with regards to how we progress, how we and who we are becoming. And so today's episode is all about 24 strand DNA, because this is something that has always fascinated me. So I started talking to my guides into spirit and really trying to figure out exactly what and how I could help people here on Earth, this amazing, beautiful planet, help us evolve so we can do more right in the current time, so that we can actually activate more of who we are with the godly presence within and bring that to the mortal realm. So a big part of that is our DNA, and I've talked about this in other videos, is that our DNA is the divine. So it is the DNA is the divine strand of the God coming within us as we blossom and become more illuminated with regards to who we are, and knowing this divine part of us actually becomes more. So instead of just a 2 strand of DNA, we are today going to talk about how to enrich and create and reassemble the 24 strand DNA. And then of course, I'll kind of give some hints about what's beyond that. So it's really an exciting day for me as we talk about activating this godly force within us and bringing it into the mortal realm. So first thing I want to clarify is that my whole experience, a lot of my teachings are always within the etheric and the celestial realm. So the etheric is actually where all creation happens. And so without knowledge and opening to work within the etheric, meaning yourself, your presence within that, your soul force, there is very little that can be done from a creation aspect. So within the etheric, we exist. You and I exist. We have our essence of who we are within the etheric realm. And so when we talk about the etheric, we're talking about co-creating, and this is actually really cool, as we reassemble the 24 strand DNA. And this is even more exciting because it's not just for us, it's for all the others that are within the combined group of the soul. And that's actually really crazy exciting. So in order to kind of talk about this, I'm going to talk about it like it's myself. So I'm going to use the word Joe a lot. because, but just insert your name when I go through and talk about Joe. So let's talk about 3D Joe, 2 strand DNA Joe. What I have learned is that 2 strand DNA Joe is evolving. Just like all of you who are watching this episode, you are evolving. You have piqued a curiosity to understand and activate this spark, this God force within you. And so as we do this, a lot of people think it has to happen in the brain. Well, that's not true. It all happens in the heart. The heart is actually the alchemical furnace for all creation. So this is where your soul resides, is in the heart. And nothing can happen in the physical. I mean, the brain is nothing but a computer for the soul to activate. So, but as we purify and activate these strands, these etheric, and bring them into the physical, we have now opened the gates to actually think at a higher level, because we've now increased the computing power of this thing between our ears. And that's crazy exciting as well, because we are now able to not only have these incredible visions and insights, but we're able now to think at a more godly level, a level that creates a new level of wisdom, of knowing here on this planet, which will send ripple effects because we're now, you and I, changing the entire harmonic, the dynamic of the frequencies on the planet as we do this and create this new 24 DNA construct. So let's talk more about this. So we've got 2-strand DNA, Joe. Right now, here I am, and yet I know there's something more. So what am I doing? I am really connecting with the essence of Joe in the etheric realm. Now, the really interesting thing about the Joe in the etheric is that there are other Joes on other timelines. And one of the things that is really important to understand as we go through at least this initial exercise, and I may get into timeline management a little bit later, but for now, I'll just try to keep things really simple. But let's talk about 24 Joes within the etheric realm from other timelines within their physicality, their 3D reality that is like this, but different. They make all different choices and different things. So because God, we, in order to evolve, have to have duality, and that duality can take on many constructs and shapes and decisions and choices. So all of those Joes are now making those decisions on their own within the different timelines or constructs of their reality. But because I am doing this, I am also helping them activate their construct within the etheric, their ability to move upwards. And I'm sure some of them may even be more advanced with regards to how they have been able to tap into the etheric more so than even me, which is really exciting because all of this is going to create a harmony, i.e. a harmonic evolution, a harmony within the etheric that we're all going to share. So we've got these 12 different Joes, each one, let's say right now, within the different realities, having a 2-strand DNA. So as we percolate up and tap into the essence, we are now creating a phi-like spiral, a movement of energy that is shared within our hearts, within the etheric realm. And this begins, and we start going into a very strong and powerful I am declaration. So I am, and where most people here fail with the I am, they want to say I am wealthy. What they're really doing is they're invoking the God presence for money. How ridiculous is that? Because all they've done, anybody that's teaching you the I am, I'll go more into this in a different video, but anybody that's teaching you to say I am wealthy or I am healthy or whatever, you've just reinforced your essence of God to keep you in a reincarnation cycle. What is that about? These people do not understand energy. So what I want to do is show you by just teaching the power of I am, but doing it in the right way because I am is activating the perfection of who you are. So I am holy. I am whole. I am the light of the light. So in this example, I am whole. So meaning that I am whole, and as we create this clockwise is the unfoldment of God. So as we create this I am whole synchronicity with each and every Joe within the bioetheric realm, we are now beginning to combine and pull together the 2-strand DNA up into the etheric. And then what we begin doing is we begin becoming more and centralizing the focus on the Joe in the middle, the yoke, if you will, the true yogi, the hub, the spoke, the yoke of this dynamic. And we begin transferring the 2 strands from all the 12 into this. And of course, you can do the math. 12 times 2 is 24. So once we've activated the 24 within the yoke, the yogi, the Joe, here, we're able to transfer this back down into the physical. And of course, this is degrees. It's got to be calibrated. It's not just like, bam, here we are. It's a matter of controlling and having spirit also oscillate the resonance of the DNA activating within us, because I don't know. It'd be kind of weird if like we had all 24 activate. We'd probably go boom or something. I don't know what we would do, but I don't know. It'd be kind of like a really trippy thing. But right now there's probably a governor. Not probably. There is a governor. But we are unfolding that. And again, it's like phi, the law of God. The natural law of God is the natural expansion, the blossoming of who we are. So as we now are coming through the photonic belt, we have access to greater energies that are helping us perpetuate who we are in the garden and blossom. So as this really co-creation happens, we are meeting in harmony, and we are reassembling the aspects of the God self. And again, this happens in the heart. The brain is the slave to the heart, so it doesn't happen in the brain. This is where so many teachers get it wrong. They get so confused because they're so caught up in the head, and the head is mortal. The head is that whole mankind dynamic. The heart is the godly essence, and those that follow their heart live in a godly manner. Those that follow their mind are driving fancy cars. Or not saying that we can't be godly and drive this, but they have lost the aspects of truly caring about who we are. Because again, it depends on your outcome. If you want to use the I am to say I am wealthy and come back in reincarnation, that's fine. That's not what I am about. That's not what I'm sharing with you. I am sharing with you how to break that reincarnation cycle so you escape the eights. And I talked about this in a different video. The eights is nothing but the infinite loop of keeping you trapped in this game. And I'm talking about the nines. And so, but anyway, there's a great video on that I did, so I'll put that in the notes. But back to this. So as we are creating this 24-strand DNA in the etheric, dropping it down, we are now creating a wholeness beyond what we could ever comprehend. So as I've talked about love before, and we love, and we know mortal love, but there are so many layers and blossomings beyond the mortal love that we could ever imagine. And this 24-strand DNA activation is a big part of bringing the God love down and expanding the light of who we are. This amazing Godforce, that who you are. And this is really exciting because, again, as we bring everything together, we begin expanding. We begin to create the harmony of all. And in this example, I'm talking about the harmony within the Joes and all the different timelines, dimensional aspects of who I am that are playing in different games or different aspects and levels of the game. But I'm pulling us all together because this etheric celestial realm is what is tying us together, and we begin to blossom together. We go all. Where we go one, we go all. We are now rising. We're blossoming. We are accentuating, attuning to the greater God because we get to know this greater presence. Because what is DNA? DNA is really your antenna, if you will. It is a source of communication that pulls the aspects, the essence of your true self, your godly self, to illuminate who you are. And that is just crazy exciting. So is 24 it? Well, no, it's not, which is kind of crazy. Well, because, we started out, and most people don't realize this, but when God created humans, not mankind, humans, we had 64 strands of DNA. And 64 is really cool. And again, when I talk about 12 and 24, 12 is whole. 12 creates a whole. So you have 12 aspects of the zodiac, if you will. But all 12 together create the whole zodiac. You have 12 disciples. That 12 creates the wholeness that surrounded Christ. And I can kind of go on because 12 is a very prominent holistic or whole number that most people tend to overlook and skip. But the 12 is very empowering, like I show here, regards to stepping into that next evolutionary essence of who you are becoming with the 24-strand DNA. So yeah, 24, 64. And this is really interesting because God, as I mentioned, created humans with 64 strands of DNA. And this is really powerful in thinking that billions of years ago, we had 64 strands of DNA. But the cool thing is we can go beyond where we were. And this is all part of the evolution. Maybe we had to fall. I don't have the an answer for that. In order to recognize our true potential, falling into the depths to rise up like the phoenix, if you will. Great metaphor. Because we now can become something more than we ever knew that was possible. In this 24 to 64 strand DNA, there's no reason, and I've actually been shown in a vision of 128 strand DNA, which to me is crazy. It's crazy cool, because we now are becoming something that is beyond what even God created us to be, because we now are evolving just as God evolves. Because remember, we are just fractionalized aspects. We are aspects of the essence of God learning. And so as we grow and we evolve, God grows and evolves. God is not static. And most people just think he's like this old guy with a beard or whatever. And every religion has their own little thingy, but or persona, I should say. But this is something that is, well, quite frankly, evolutionary. Because you can do this in meditation. You can envision yourself up in the etheric. And I'm saying this up. Within the etheric and celestial realms, there is no up or down. What I do is I envision this within my heart, because that is the seat of the soul. That is the power of God that resides within you. And so again, as you activate the 24 strands, you become, well, invincible. You become a true, and put on the armor of light, the armor of God, to take on anything and become that beacon, which is just totally, really exciting for me to share with you about how to do this. And again, we are reassembling through the wholeness of I am within the bioetheric. We're transferring it down to me and every other Joe within this. So every other Joe that has shared the and has been able to access the essence. And of course, what's cool, and I talked about this in a video, and I didn't intend to talk about it in this video, but I'll mention it really briefly, is that as I send this Joe energy, this Joe sends me energy. Now, I'm also sending this Joe energy, this Joe, so I'm actually helping propagate. So let's just say there is a Joe out there that may be more mortal than godly, or maybe having a struggle opening something up. Through the combined effort of who we are, because of the greater godliness, the greater awakening and agreement that we have with each other, we're able to pull the other Joe up and pull him into this circle to help illuminate him and pull him from the depths, to help him and find this illuminated essence so that he can grow, so we all grow together. And this is like crazy exciting to me, because this is the true model of who we are. And it's not just this singular physical vessel, this consciousness unit that we pop in and out of, because the body is nothing. It's these teachings, these esoteric teachings that we have to grasp and put into practice, and really, because the power of the imagination. I've talked about imagination before, and I love Neville Goddard, but he didn't quite see it the way I do, because the imagination, the key word in imagination is magi. And so the magi are the wise men that came to see Christ. And the magi translates across any and all cultures and languages. But you have the magi, which is that imagination within you, to create this reality, so that we now are, and you are in sync with the essences of who you are throughout time and space, throughout and across dimensions and densities. You now have the ability to pull every essence of who you are together to reassemble that godly divineness. Again, the DNA, the divine, which is the DNA, into who you are, and bring it back into the mortal aspect of who you are. So become more godly than mortal. Become human, meaning Hu, again, is the key word meaning God. And we're bringing the godliness back into who we are. And that is so crazy exciting. So with that, let me know if you have any questions. I love you guys. This is like really crazy, cool, exciting stuff for me. So let's see if I missed anything. You know, I was going to talk more about timelines, but we'll cut this video now. It goes manifolds and timelines, and points in time space. But that's kind of like for a whole nother video. But I will do another deeper dive on the I am, because that is something that has been misappropriated by people that, again, trying to keep you trapped here. And they're trying to trick you into using the essence of God into reincarnating. And again, you know my mission. I'm here to help liberate you, help you in the reincarnation cycle, so we can all have a great time in the next evolve lifetime at the bar or the other side of the galaxy, which, again, I'm buying for all of the graduates. It's going to be a lot, which I'm super excited about. So I love you guys. Again, let me know if you have any questions. And until we see you again, much love. Okay, bye-bye.